Okay, once again we have our 20-year-old HP Kayak workstation, which is probably closer to being a server type technology from 20 years ago. There's no red lights in the front. That's a good thing. We do have a green light for disk activity there on the secondary disk. Well, actually, it's a tertiary disk. There's two disks on the inside of this machine. It's an old Sun Microsystems external disk pack connected by a SCSI to a SCSI interface. There's, what, 1, 2, 3, possibly 4? No, there's 3 SCSI interfaces. All right, we got a happy beep. So just built a new kernel. Let's see what we get. So grub, and there it is, 5.02. Do I get penguins? There's the penguins. That's good. Now, let's see if we don't get any serious problems. Now, in order for this to work, of course, I had to select Adaptec SCSI controllers and Symbius Logic SCSI controllers and things like that, and I built those device support is built right into the kernel. They're not modular at all. In fact, there's very little in the way of device support here. Okay. Now, usually at this point, some other message comes along. Well, I know numlock works. Okay. Let's see whether or not I can actually log in. Usually some other message pops up at this point about dev urandom not being able to collect sufficient entropy data, I believe is what the message is. I'm just going to wait 15 seconds here. No? Okay. Well, let's see if I can log in as root. If I can remember the root password. Okay. .02 on a very old machine. Not much in the way of memory here. So there's 768 megabytes of physical memory in this machine, of which most of it's coming up as free, which is a good thing. LS mod will show virtually nothing in the way of loaded modules. There isn't really much I can do about that. Well, I can try experiments, but on this machine I should be happy it boots and runs at all. The processors, again, these are very, very old Pentium 2. There they are. So it's the Pentium 2 modules. 400 megahertz is what these are. There's this idea of these so-called Intel processor bugs. And I don't necessarily believe that those hardware bugs are in place on this old processor. I think I'll have to look into the kernel code and see if assumptions are being made for this old processor. regardless, there's two of them in there. So there's the second processor. And the machine is up, running, and I believe I've got a network. Right. Alrighty then. I'm going to get off the console and see if I can access this thing across the network. Maybe rebuild the, try a different approach to the kernel, make it a modular kernel. But it's neither here nor there. The fact the machine's running at all is interesting. Alrighty then.